We wake up each morning and slip effortlessly into a costume we didn't choose. Our name, our story, our sense of self. But what if the self you identify with is a carefully woven illusion, stitched together by memory, language, and belief? What if the person you think you are doesn't actually exist? Today, we're going to step into a philosophical mirror to question the idea of the self, who you are, who you think you are, and why it might all be a mask. Think about it. From the moment you're born, the world begins assigning you labels. Boy, girl, smart, difficult, talented, ordinary. These words don't just describe you, they begin to define you. Over time, they solidify. You wear them like armor, never questioning if they were ever truly yours. This psychological armor becomes your identity. And once we believe we are these labels, we stop exploring who we might actually be beneath them. The philosopher David Hume once wrote that when he looked inward, he couldn't find a consistent self, just a bundle of thoughts, feelings, and sensations passing like clouds. No core. No fixed identity. Just experience. Much of what you think you are is a story you've told yourself. And memory, the foundation of that story, is far from reliable. Neuroscience confirms what ancient philosophers suspected: memory is not a recording. It's a reconstruction. Every time you remember something, your brain reassembles it. And sometimes, it edits. Memories change subtly over time. They blur, distort, and bend to the emotional lens you wear in the present. And yet, we trust these memories to define us. But if memory is fragile, and identity is made from memory, what happens to the self? Can something so unstable be real? There's power in naming. Language gives form to the formless. But it also traps it. The philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein believed that the limits of our language are the limits of our world. You say, "I am sad." But sadness is not a fixed identity, it's a fleeting state. Yet with language, we freeze it. We become it. The very words we use to describe ourselves build the cage we live in. When you say, "I am a failure," you're not just reporting an emotion, you're declaring an identity. But who were you before language? Before anyone called you anything? That version of you might still be there, hidden beneath all the words. Not all philosophies cling to the self. In Buddhist thought, there is no permanent self, only a stream of consciousness. What we call I is merely a collection of processes: sensation, perception, thought, awareness. No solid ground. No eternal soul. Just movement. This isn't nihilism, it's freedom. Because if there is no fixed self, then there's nothing to defend. Nothing to prove. You are not your successes. Not your failures. Not your trauma. You are the sky, and all these identities are just weather. Clouds come. Clouds go. But the sky remains. In the West, existential philosophers took a different route to a similar truth. Jean-Paul Sartre argued that existence precedes essence. In other words, we aren't born with a defined self. We create it, through choices, through action. You are not a noun. You are a verb. This is both a burden and a liberation. Because if there's no fixed identity, you must choose who you become, again and again. There's no mask to hide behind. No essence to fall back on. Only the raw freedom of becoming. But what does this mean in a digital world? Online, the self is fragmented, filtered, curated, performed. You might have one version of yourself on Instagram, another on LinkedIn, and yet another in private messages. Which one is real? Perhaps none of them. Or perhaps all of them are just digital masks. As we scroll, swipe, and post, we're building avatars, hoping to be seen, understood, validated. But the more we construct an identity for others, the further we drift from the self behind the screen. So who are you? If memory lies, language binds, and ego edits, what's left? Maybe that's the point. The mystics speak of awakening, not as becoming something new, but as remembering something ancient. A state before the story, before the labels, before the illusion of me. Just presence, awareness, being. To realize you are not your thoughts, is the first step to freedom from them. To see the illusion doesn't make life meaningless, it makes it luminous. Because now, you're free to play, to invent, to dissolve, to begin again. Not as a fixed self, but as a living mystery. Slow fade to a sunrise. The sound of breath, a single drop of water falling into a still pond. You were never the mask. You were the silence beneath it. And that silence was always enough.